See, you might be in, how many of you attended for the offline classes in your PU? Both years? Nobody. Everybody online classes only. You attend offline. That's it. So I know that how much mathematics basics you have, and then how much confidence in physics you have. So that only today we will discuss the basic mathematics which are very useful in physics. If you don't know that, then directly I will teach sometime derivations and all directly I will do. At that time you cannot understand anything. So only basic mathematics is very important for physics, and that includes the trigonometry, integrations, differentiations, basic graphs. You know that whenever I say that y is directly proportional to x, what is the graph you will get? What is the graph you will get? For example, if I take y here and then x here, what is the graph you will get? Directly proportional. As the y increasing, what happening? X also increasing only. How can you get that? What is the graph of that you will get? You can tell, no problem. Straight line only, na? Straight line you will get like this. So that with some slope you will get angle theta. So as the x increasing, then what happening? Y also increasing only. For example, if I get y is inversely proportional to x, at that time what you will get? Which graph you will get? Any idea about that? Negative straight line like this you are saying? Like this only. Then if I go in this direction or in this direction, there is no problem in that. There is no difference in that. Whenever y is inversely proportional to x, in the thermal properties of matter and then thermodynamics, you might be got the graphs. Charles law and then Boyle's law will state, what is that? Pressure is directly proportional to PV is equals to nRT we will take. Yes sir. From that, if T is equals to constant, then what happens? PV is also equals to constant only. Why? Because the number of moles here, gas constant, and then temperature is constant. Then what happening? PV is equals to constant. Then what I can write? PV is equals to constant mean P is equals to what? Can I write that as P is directly proportional to 1 by V? Otherwise P is inversely proportional to V. At that time which graph you got? Do you remember that? In isothermal curve. Do you remember isothermal concept? Isothermal means what? Which will be constant. Isothermal, in the name itself it is there. Thermal means temperature. So in isothermal process, temperature is constant. PV is equals to nRT. Whenever PV is equals to nRT, here n number of moles, R is the gas constant, T already I am saying it is a constant because it is a isothermal process. Then what is there? PV is equals to constant. Then what I can write? P is inversely proportional to V. P is inversely proportional to V means which type of graph you will get? Isothermal curve. Do you remember that isothermal curve? You will get like this. Do you remember that? Rectangular hyperbola we call it as. So that kind of graphs, whenever we teach this chapter, whenever I draw the curve like this, you don't know anything about that. So basically you should understand what the graphs will come, and then what the basic mathematics will be there, mainly differentiation and then integration. How many of you know differentiation, integration confidently? Confidently. No idea about that? Already we got in maths, na? We studied in maths. However, it is finished. They did not put any exam, so that we did not prepare anything. We did not listen to anything. See that I can understand that. See, offline class is different, online class is different. You might be get not interested. You might be interested in the gamings. What, Prajwal? Yes. So like that it will be there. So I can understand that. So only we will teach the basic mathematics and then which are very important for physics. In long term, basically we have around 25 to 26 chapters are there. For the 26 chapters we have to finish within a year only, not within a year, within months only we have to finish. So there will be more pressure on you. You have to be ready for that. And also we will be following. Always we will be there with you only. You don't get worried that I don't have basics so that I will feel difficulty in long term like that. Okay, nothing will happen. We will be there with you. We will teach from the basics, scratch level we will teach. Why? Because time is there for us. Already you have little bit idea about the concepts, so that only we can teach little bit fast, and also you have the materials. You will have college materials. In college material for each chapter you will get around 200 to 300 objective questions, so that you can practice very well. There is a lot of time is there, you will get more study hours also. More number of study hours also will be there. More than teaching hours, you have to get the study hours only basically. You have to practice na. Already you listen for 2 years, again you are listening for this year, means what happens in that? Nothing will be there. So everything you have to work, and then we will be there in study hours, and then we will help you. Whichever the smaller doubt also if you get, there is no problem, you can get. Don't feel shy in front of me. So you can, very smaller, any addition subtraction doubt also you are getting, you are not able to do LCM also, you can get to me and then you can ask me, okay na, so that I can help you. From the first onwards, see, physics has to, you should do the physics well, means you have to work on from the first onwards. You should work from the first onwards. So if you are just opening in only study hours in the physics book, nothing but that is not useful. You have to work more than all the subjects. It will take little time. I know that you will not understand some of the problems. Once you start any difficult problem, nothing but it will take half an hour also. There is no doubt in that. So that you have to work more on physics than any other subjects. Biology you have to study thoroughly. Whenever you see in this year, how many of you attempted NEET? All of you. How many marks you got, Vinita? 250. What about you, Kushi? Below 300. You did not check the marks? That much sure. So 300 below. What about you, Tabsum? 150. 310. Then 300 above.
178.
178. You counted? Yes. So you just don't worry that we got this many, this much low marks and then we cannot do NEET, we cannot crack NEET like that. And then our student got, for some of the student, I will tell you some examples. One of the student was there, Shashank, his name is. He got, I think, 150 to 160 in the first time. And he don't have any basics. He came from village background and then he studied in normal village college and then he came to here. He was not having any basics for the first 2-3 months. He was ideal only. He was not able to do anything. Whenever we conduct the weekend exams also, he was able to get around 300 marks, that's it. Only weekend nothing but we will have only 1 chapter or 2 chapters. For the entire week whatever we teach and then we will put that in the weekend exam. So he got only 250 to 300. Like that he was there initially, and also after that what he done nothing but he just increased his level like anything. Now he got 590 marks. 580 to 590 marks expected marks. And then biology he got out marks, just 1 question gone, that's it. Just 5 marks decreased and then he got 355 marks in biology. And also he got I think 140 like that in chemistry, and then physics paper was little difficult and then he got 110 in physics like that. So you don't worry that I got this many less marks and then can I do or not, like that you don't worry. You can do, everybody can do it, everybody can do it. One of the topper Jayashree was just PU student only. She was not long-term student. She was having so much of pressure that she has to study for PU boards. You already know that they did not announce the PU board is cancelled before only. Yes, just before the exams only they announced, I think in Feb. Yes, na? In February only they announced. Till then she was studying for board exams, for objective exam. From 8:30 here classes will start. Before 8:30 she used to attend to the language classes and then maths classes. She was coming at 6:30 only. Because of her we were coming at 6:30 and then we were teaching her separate classes. Once you study, you want to study and then you have that zeal to crack the NEET, means we will help you in all the way. And then like that she managed, and then now she is the topper of the college. And also Akshita is very poor in maths. If I ask the multiplication nothing much, she will tell wrong only. So that much of basic knowledge also was not there for the students, and then they developed everything. And then they cracked the NEET and then they got very high score now. So you don't worry that I got only first time 200 marks, I got 170 marks, I got 150 marks, I got so and so marks, I did not attempt the NEET like that. You can do it. Now you just work on that. You don't think that you are long term and then you are repeaters, like that you don't think. Just think that we are freshers and then we have to gain the knowledge. Already you don't know anything about the syllabus only almost, so that everything is new only for you. You people has to work on more. Already whichever is there, that repeating is different, and then whichever you are studying, that is different. Yes sir. So that's very important. You should work properly, and also you should not waste the time, and every 1 minute also important. Whenever you write you sit in the NEET exam, every minute also important. In the same way, each and every weekend exam you have to write like a NEET exam, final NEET exam only. We will arrange the exam like that only. So in that way you have to be serious in the exams, and then you should prepare, and then nobody is going to disturb you. You will be in separate classes, these classes will be separate, and then your hostel campus will be separate, whoever hostelers, everybody is day scholars only now. Yeah, day scholars also you will be till night only. They said already. Now for this week I think till 4:30 you will be. In the next week, from the next week onwards, 7:30 compulsory day scholars also should be there till 7:30. You just forget about the whatever the enjoyments you got in holidays. You have to work on now. Okay na? You should take everything seriously only. If you take seriously, then only you can crack the NEET. That is not much easy. See, this year all the papers were very easy. In the 2020. All the papers were easy, but this year all the papers were easy only, but physics was difficult. Too difficult physics was. For the normal below average student, he cannot do anything in physics. That much of difficulty is there in physics. So whenever they have given like that, means you should be ready for that. How much ever difficult they might be give, we have to be ready for that. And biology was easy, and then chemistry was easy, so only our student got 160 marks in the chemistry. 160 marks in chemistry. Out of 180, 160 marks in chemistry. That is not much easy task, you know that already. 160 marks means, I think she might be left 4 questions. Just 4 questions. So in that some might be wrong, otherwise she might be left 4 questions. So biology 360 we are expecting from Akshita. And then not 360, the 360 from Akshita, and then 355 from the Shashank, and then Jayashree was around 340 like that. So everybody can get. Those students were also very dull in the initial stages, and then they were not having any basics, and then they have learnt everything here after coming here only. You should work very hard. That is not much easy. Getting the NEET seat is not much easy. You already know that, you already gone for the exam once, so you might be seeing the paper how it will be. So that is not much easy. You have to work on that set. From the first day onwards, you should be serious on that. Okay, now we will provide you the material, whatever the material we are having from the college side, and then you should follow that. In each and every chapter, you will get around 300 questions. Around 300 questions, almost 6 exercises you will get. In that 6 exercises, some of the problems we will teach, and then everything you have to practice. There is no question that we have to solve 1 exercise, 2 exercise like that. You have to solve each and every exercise, each and every difficulty level problem also. We will be there with you, and then we will help you on that. Okay na? So that don't get panic that we will do or not like that. You just don't get panic. And also this again you might be think that corona will come, and then again we have to sit at the home. If you sit at the home also, we will come to you, and then we will teach. In the last pandemic, we did not close the college for 1 day also for the long-term students. We were wearing all the full PPE kit, and then we came to college, and then we teached. And then we closed the hostel. Day scholars also becomes hostelers only. They also, we called day scholars also to the hostel. They were there in the hostel, no connection with the outside people. And then we teached for each and every day, even in the pandemic. We were there. I did not gone to my home. Nobody has taken the holidays. PU we sent, PU students we sent, but the long-term student we did not send even for 1 day also. We did not give any holidays in the pandemic. So if the pandemic came again also, we will teach for you. Okay, you don't get that confusion, and then don't pray for the God that again pandemic has to come so that I cannot go to the college like that. Okay na? So already you people are already matured, and then you have to use the time properly. Okay na? Don't be like childish. Time is already gone, and then we have enjoyed for 3 years almost. So now at least we have to be serious. Okay na? We will start. So here y is directly proportional means we will get the straight line, and also which slope, this is positive slope or negative slope? Slope is increasing or decreasing? Increasing slope na, so that positive slope. For example, if I get y is directly proportional to minus x, at that time what we will do? We have to take the same axis again, y and then x. Now here it is a negative. Negative nothing but what it is doing, whenever I increase the y value, whenever I increase the y value, otherwise whenever I increase the x value, then what happening here? Y is decreasing. Y is increasing in negative way. That is the meaning, right? Y is directly proportional to minus x, nothing but if I increase x value, then what happens? Nothing but y is increasing in opposite way. Towards the negative it is increasing. Nothing but how you will get? The slope will get in this way. In that way you will get. So what happening here? We are increasing the x. Then what happening? Y value is decreasing straightly. So this will have what? Negative slope here. So whenever you see here na theta you are getting. So we are getting in the second quadrant, nothing but whenever you are going in anti-clockwise direction, then what will get? We will get the angle is increasing here, obviously. And also here it is getting decreased, means the slope is which slope? Nothing but negative slope here. Otherwise if you get theta here, otherwise you can get theta here. You are coming in downward direction, nothing but in this direction, then angle is negative or positive? Negative na? We are going in this way, that will be positive, and then now it is negative angle. So only here slope is negative slope. Theta here we got nothing but there is a negative slope. In that way you have to identify the graphs. I will teach that clearly. Okay na? First of all, in basic math we will start the angle. How the angle you have to identify, and then what is the direction will be. You know the angular velocity, angular displacement. What is the angular velocity formula? Omega is equals to, velocity means what is the formula? What is the velocity formula? Linear velocity formula, tell me. Displacement by time only na? Displacement by time. Then angular velocity nothing but what? Angular displacement by time. Who is angular displacement here? Means theta will be the angular displacement, d theta by dt. Okay, for example, a vehicle is moving. A vehicle is moving on a straight road. So it is making a displacement of ds in time dt. Velocity of the body is how much? V is equals to ds by dt. Nothing but linear displacement by time. So here angular velocity nothing but, linear velocity means linear displacement by time, angular velocity nothing but angular displacement by time. Angular displacement nothing but just the angle made by the whatever the particle we have taken. For example, I have taken the circle. On this circle a particle of mass m. A particle of mass m is moving in anti-clockwise direction. In this direction it is moving. So whenever it is moving, for example, if I tie a rod for this, a rod is there, rod of length, how much length will be there? Obviously radius of the circle only na. So the radius of the circle rod will be there, and then at the end of that we have connected one particle. So that what I am doing nothing but I am just moving it in this direction. So whenever I am moving it in that direction, finally it came here, it got stopped here. So that what is the angular displacement? What is the displacement made by the body? First of all, displacement made by the body is this much, right? What we can take? That is S we can take. Which displacement? That is the linear displacement. When is smaller distance nothing but whenever I take very smaller, at that time this will be equals to straight line only. Very small angle if you take. So here angular displacement is how much? Nothing but we can take it as d theta. So linear displacement is S, angular displacement is how much? D theta. Then omega, angular velocity is equals to, linear velocity is equals to what? ds by dt. So only we will get the linear velocity in this direction. Do you remember the diagrams? Yes, linear velocity nothing but you have to draw a tangent. You have to draw a tangent for the body on the circle, then it will gives you the linear velocity. What is the linear velocity formula? V is equals to ds by dt, linear displacement by time. It is also doing the circular motion, it is doing circular motion. So that which velocity will be there for us? Angular velocity will be there. So what is that angular velocity? Means omega is equals to d theta by dt. What is this d theta means here? D theta means angular displacement. Okay, theta means angle made by the body. Angle made nothing but displacement made by the body. For example, if I take this marker is doing the circular motion. So same diagram I will just make it. It was there in horizontal direction before. Now what it is doing nothing but it is moving in this direction. It is just making circular motion like this. So I want to stop it sometime, at some place. So it was initial place, it was the initial place, and then it is the final place. So how much linear displacement made by this cap? Nothing but from here to here displacement. Displacement means what? The shortest distance between the final position and initial position. This is the final position, this is the initial position. So that the displacement will be, linear displacement will be from here to here in this way. What about the angular displacement? Angular displacement will be there like this. So what is that angular displacement? Nothing but we will take it as theta only. We will always read it as theta only. But the reality is that is the displacement, angular displacement of the body. So how much angular displacement of the body here? D theta. Now it is just moving from here to here, nothing but it is moving with some velocity or not? It is moving with some velocity. How to get the linear velocity? You have to draw the tangent. Wherever you find the particle, here you find the particle, there what you have to do? You have to draw a tangent so that this will gives you the linear velocity. For example, the particle is there here. How to get the linear velocity? In which direction? In which direction linear velocity will be? Always I said tangential, na? Tangential nothing but you have to draw in this direction, just horizontally towards me. Nothing but always you should be draw in the direction of motion only. This is moving in anti-clockwise direction. So you have to take, for example, initially it is there here. It is not moving anymore, so that velocity will be how much? 0. At time t equals to 0, velocity is 0. Whenever the body came here, at that time, what is the linear velocity of this? Nothing but you have to draw a tangent in this way. Okay. Angular velocity will be d theta by dt. Why? Because angle made here is d theta. For example, now the body came here. So that linear velocity will be in this direction, and then angle is how much exactly now? 90 degrees, na? So that 90 degrees nothing but pi by 2 radians by whatever the time taken. For example, for moving from here to here, I got 30 seconds I have taken. So that pi by 2 angle divided by 30 seconds, that will gives you the omega. In radians, otherwise what it will give? Radian per second, otherwise revolution per minute, like that. You know the units of conversion of that? Radian per second and then revolutions per minute, like that. No idea about that? I will tell you that. I will tell you, don't worry. So that here angle is 90 degrees, so that 90 divided by 90 degrees nothing but pi by 2 radians divided by 30 seconds. Now we got in which units? Pi by 2 radians divided by 30 seconds. Which unit we got for the omega? Radian per second. Then after that the body came here. Now it is there, the linear velocity is there in which direction? Downward direction. Angle is how much it is made now? 180 degrees. So 180 degrees, let me take from here to here 30 means here to here also 30. 1 minute I have taken. So that 180 radian, pi radians, otherwise 180 degrees divided by how much time I have taken? 60 seconds or 1 minute. Now the pen came here down. Now the linear velocity will be in which direction? Tangentially in this direction. And also you don't think that it is going again in reverse direction. No, it is not going in reverse direction, it is coming as it is, same only. So wherever you got the particle, there what you have to do? You have to draw a tangent. Tangent you can draw, but in which direction is important? In which direction you have to draw? In the direction of motion. Okay, this direction it is moving. So that in this direction tangential velocity will be there, in this direction, tangential velocity. And also omega will have some direction, I will tell you what is that direction also. Okay, now omega also, the angular velocity will also have the direction. That will be out of the plane or into the plane, like that will be there. So I will tell that also. And also now the angle is how much? 270 degrees divided by 1.5 minute. 1.5 minute nothing but 90 seconds I can take. So that is how the omega will vary. You understand, right? How to take the linear velocity and then how to take the angular velocity. Angular velocity nothing but simply angular displacement by time taken. The units will be radian per second or revolution per minute. I will tell you the conversion later. Okay, I will discuss that. So this is about the angular velocity. Before that, generally basic angle we will discuss. The same circular motion I have taken. On the same circle, a particle is moving from this point at t it is equals to 0 to this point, some other point, that is time t. Initially it was here and then finally it came here. So can I say this displacement is yes? I can take it as yes. Yes, displacement is yes. Displacement on the circle is how much? Yes, I have taken. So the angular displacement I will take it as theta. Angular displacement is theta. Then what is this distance? We can take it as radius r, obviously radius of the circle. So here the particle was there initially here at time t equals to 0. Now at the end of the time t it came from this point to this point. Let me take that is point A to B. The body is moving from point A to B. How much linear displacement it is making? Yes, on the circumference of the circle. How much angular displacement? Theta. And the radius of the circle is how much? Nothing but r I have taken. Now what is the angle can be? Angle theta is equals to can be what? Theta is equals to, what is the basic formula? Theta is equals to what? Will take nothing but arc length by radius. Okay, na, arc length. Which is arc length travelled? How much length it is travelled? S is the length it is travelled. Radius of the circle is how much? R is the radius of the circle. So that theta is equals to what? I can write nothing but S by R. Otherwise sometimes we will take, if I take this as L means, or it might be L by R. What is S indicates here? Nothing but that is a arc length. What is the R indicates? Nothing but that is a radius of the circle. This is the angle theta. Arc length by radius. So that what are the units of this one? What are the units of this one? Arc length I said divided by radius. What are the units? Arc length nothing but we will measure in what? Length nothing but we will measure in what? Meters na? Generally SI units are meters. Centimeters also will be there, kilometers also will be there. But the standard units are which one? Meters. The standard units are for the mass kilograms, for the length it is meters, for the time it is seconds. These are the standard units. And also you already know that we will not only measure the mass in kg, we will measure in the grams also. Yes, we will measure in tons also, we will measure in quintals also. So that those are the different units of mass, but the standard units are what? Kg only. Whenever you see the length, we can measure even in millimeters, we can measure in kilometers, we can measure in centimeters also, and also miles also, foots also. These are the different units, but the standard units are what? Meters only. Whenever you come to the time we will measure in hours also, and then minutes also, days, years, months, weeks, like that we can measure. But the standard units are seconds only. So whenever we got the any length, nothing but we got any length, otherwise distance, displacement, like that means what is the basic unit? That is a meters. Mass means kilograms. Wherever you got the time, that will be seconds. Now can you tell me the units of this one? Arc length will measure in what? Meters. Very good. Radius will measure in what? Radius of the circle will measure in what? This is also distance only, na? Radius also distance only. Distance will measure in what? Meters only again. That might be smaller, but will measure in meters only. So that meters divided by meters, both got cancelled. Any units for this? No unit. So only we call it as angle is a unitless. Unitless and also dimensionless. That will be very important concept. The angle theta will be the unitless and it is also dimensionless. We can even call it as angular displacement. Angular displacement or angle is unit and dimensionless. Okay, yes, you just note down. You got the notes, right? Everybody, note down that.
Sometimes it's getting
Blurred. The lighting is not there, na, proper. Finished? Now in this diagram, tell me that angle is positive or negative? Angular displacement is positive or negative? Whenever we are going in anti-clockwise direction, we are increasing the angle obviously. From here to here I am coming, nothing but I am increasing my angle, so that the angle will be positive. Whenever you are coming in clockwise direction, you are decreasing the angle, so that the angle will be negative. And also based on the same thing, the angular velocity direction also will depends. Whenever you are going in anti-clockwise direction, the angular velocity will be positive. See, which are the, first of all tell me, which is x, y, z axis? X, y, z. Is that correct? Is that representation is correct? Green marker. Come sir, Prajwal sir. How are you? Fine. How is your health now? ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದಾರಾ? Yes. He is one of the old student, second PU student, Prajwal. So here I have taken x and then y and then z. Is that correct? Is this representation is correct? Yes. Any doubt about that? And also tell me that what is the angle between x and y and z axis? What is the angle between x and y? 90 degrees. What is the angle between the x and z? 180 degrees. 120 degrees. Why 120 only? It cannot be 145. Huh? So that is not the correct representation actually. That is wrong only. Diagram is wrong only. This is the x axis, this is the y axis, this is the z axis in reality. Yes, 3D movies we will tell. Yes, we will watch the 3D movies. In 3D movies, what we will feel? In 2D normal movies, what we will feel? They might be moving in this direction or in this direction. Yes, otherwise they might be moving upwards or downwards like that. Yes, whenever you see the 3D movie, 3D movie, then what you will feel? You will feel that monster is coming towards us only, it is falling on us only, we will scare like that. Yes sir, nothing but it is coming towards us, nothing but it is moving in another dimension whichever already you know. Already you are experiencing how many dimensions? 2 dimensions only, that is x and y. For example, if I just in the movie, whenever they are just flying upwards, then you can feel okay, they are flying upwards and moving in upward direction. Either they are moving in this direction or in this direction. If they are moving already inside also, you cannot feel that they are moving inside, they are just, you are just seeing on the screen only like that. But in 3D movie, what you will feel? Nothing but they are coming towards us only, directly onto us they are falling like that we will feel. Onto us they are falling, nothing but they are moving in another dimension, irrespective of the screen. Screen is there in which how many dimensions? Only 2 dimensions, only x axis and y axis. Another dimension is absent. So in 3D movie, we will feel the another dimension also, that is which direction? Nothing but outwards in this direction. So that outward direction indicates you the z axis. This is not the real diagram, this is wrong diagram only. Like, because I cannot show you on the board like this. How can I draw like this in this way? Otherwise how can I draw into the plane? I cannot draw, so only I am drawing in this direction. But this diagram is wrong. This is wrong diagram. From childhood onwards we are studying, that is wrong. Why? Because we cannot show. We cannot show you people, so only we are drawing like that. Okay, teachers are not wrong. That is a normal default mistake only, that is. We cannot show you on the board, so only we are drawing like that. Okay. So only whenever you see x axis is there in this direction, y axis is there in this direction, now where the z axis will be? Out of the plane. Positive z axis will be out of the plane in this direction. This is the z axis, this is z axis, and then this is the x axis, and then this will be the y axis. Always 3 axes will be perpendicular to each other. Either that might be xy, or that might be xz, or that might be zy. always 3 will be perpendicular to each other. The angle between them is how much? 90 degrees always. So only whenever the body is moving only here to here in this dimension, then we can say that it is moving in 2 dimension. Rajwa? So whenever the body is coming outward direction, otherwise the body is coming like this. For example, the body is moving like this, then how many dimensions it is moving? How many dimensions? The body is just, it is coming like this. How many dimensions? 3 dimensions. It is covering 3 dimensions. Once, first of all, it is going in this direction, nothing but 2 dimensions finished. And after that, it is coming in this direction, Z, and also X, and also Y, and also Z, like that. You understand, right? So, whenever the body is moving in 3 dimension, we have to take X axis, Y axis, and Z axis. 3 you have to take. 3 of the axis we have to take. Also, whenever the body is moving either here and then here, let me take on the board. I am just writing on the board only. My marker is moving in how many dimensions? Only 2 dimensions. Why? Because I can write like this only, but I cannot write like this and then you cannot see that. Understand, right? If I write like this also, you cannot see that. So, which is visible for you? Only 2 dimensions is visible for you. Third dimension is not visible for us. Whenever you wear the 3D glasses, then it will be visible. Okay na? So, here Z axis will be in this direction. Out of the plane nothing but we will indicate the dot. You might be knowing the moving charges and magnetism. Out of the plane means dot. Into the plane nothing but what we will draw? Cross we will draw. Yes, so cross means into the plane and then dot means out of the plane. So, in reality, all the axes will be, all the dimensions will be into the plane, out of the plane, and also positive and then negative direction, and also upwards and downward direction, like this. Okay, all the 6 axes you can see here. Positive x axis, negative x axis, positive y, positive z, and then negative z. Okay, in that way it will be there. And also, there is no rule that always horizontal means x axis, always this one vertical means y axis, always the out or inwards means z axis. That is your wish. However you want to take, you can take in that way. For example, I can take here y. I can take here y, and then I can take here x. But only one rule is there. What is that? Nothing but all should be perpendicular to each other. That is our wish. That we call as frame of reference in physics. In laws of motion, you will get frame of reference. That is our wish. In universe, see, whenever you are there here and then you are studying in the classroom, you are saying that it is x axis and then this one is y axis and then this is z axis. Whenever you are going into the space, there is no axis there, there is no dimension there, so that we have to assume our dimensions. So, there is no rule that always horizontal means x, vertical means y, and then out into the plane is z axis, like that. You can take anything whichever you want, but all should be perpendicular to each other. No axis should repeat. Here y means I cannot take here y again. You understand, right? 3 should be individual and then they should be perpendicular to each other. That is the main condition for the geometrical axis whichever we have taken here. Okay. Now whenever I say linear motion, I will take, whenever I take the straight line and then here a vehicle is moving in this direction. Vehicle is moving in this direction. It is making some displacement ds in time dt. What is the direction of velocity? Direction of velocity of that vehicle is what? Direction of velocity. In the same direction or any other direction? Same direction of motion. Is that correct? Whenever it is moving in this direction, the same direction velocity will be there. There is no doubt about that. Understanding, right? So, the body is moving in this direction, so that it is making some displacement ds here. So, the velocity of the body will be in the same direction, in this direction. Now, whenever I say the angular velocity, omega is equals to, what is the formula I said? Omega is equals to d theta by dt. What is d theta there? Angular displacement. So, dt is the time taken for that. Now, here this body only making a displacement of d theta here. So, in how much time it is making? Nothing but dt time. The body is started from here, t is equals to 0 and then ended at the time t. So, how much angular displacement it is made? D theta is the angular displacement. Whenever it is making angular displacement d theta, it will have some linear velocity. Linear velocity, how will you get the linear velocity? We have to draw a tangent, very good. We have to draw a tangent here V. So that will give us what? Linear velocity of the body. Linear velocity formula is what? ds by dt. How much linear displacement? Ds linear displacement in how much time? Dt time it is making. So that V is equals to ds by dt. Now angular velocity omega is equals to what? d theta by dt. Now linear velocity is having some direction, means obviously angular velocity also will have the direction. So which direction will be there? Angular velocity direction will be what? Any idea about that? Angular velocity will be in which direction? Whenever you want to know the angular velocity, angular acceleration, torque, these and all will be there. Na? Those are related to which motion? Angular motion, otherwise circular motion we will call it as. So that at that time we will get one rule, that is the right hand thumb rule. You already got in the magnetism also. Right hand thumb rule, otherwise cross product also will get the same rule. So right hand thumb rule gives you what? Nothing but you have to just keep your hand here, and then you have to curl your fingers freely. In which direction? Nothing but direction of motion of the body, whichever we have taken. Then who is remaining here? Thumb. Thumb gives you the direction of angular velocity. Okay. So now whenever I keep the palm here like this, and then what we have to do? You have to fold the fingers. You have to fold the fingers towards the direction of motion of the body. Then thumb is giving what? Direction of angular velocity. In this case, whenever the body is moving from here to here, the angular velocity is there in which direction? Along which axis? Z axis. Positive Z axis. Otherwise out of the plane. Out of the plane we call it as. Whenever, now tell me, the body is moving in this direction. At that time in which direction it will be? Minus Z axis. Why? Because you have to keep your palm, and then I cannot curl my fingers in backward direction obviously. So that what you have to do? You have to flip your hand and then just curl the fingers towards the body, direction of the body. Then thumb is there in which direction? Negative Z axis. Otherwise into the plane it is there. So that now the direction of the angular velocity in this case is what? Omega direction will be omega in which direction? Z axis. Z axis nothing but what will take? K cap na. X axis means I cap, Y axis means J cap, and then Z axis means we will take K cap. Now whenever the body is moving in this direction, whenever the body is moving in the XY plane, my angular velocity is there in which direction? Z axis direction. So that only I can take it as omega K cap radian per second, like that. Okay. Now here the body is moving from here to here. Nothing but angle is increasing or decreasing? Increasing or decreasing? Increasing angle. So only omega is positive. You understand, right? I said in this direction the body is moving in anti-clockwise direction, nothing but we are just increasing the angle. We are opening that. So only angle is increasing, nothing but angular velocity is positive. Now I said if you don't know angle is positive or negative also, by the direction of omega only you can say that. Now whenever the body is moving in downward direction, what I said? The omega is there along which direction? Negative Z axis direction. Negative Z axis nothing but what you are getting here? Omega into minus K cap. Negative Z axis means, so that what will get here? Minus omega K cap. Minus you are getting nothing but, okay, angle also negative only. Here positive you are getting, angle also positive only. When the angle will be positive? Whenever we are moving in anti-clockwise direction, then the angular displacement is positive. So only I am getting the positive angular velocity. Whenever the particle is moving along in the clockwise direction, in this direction, so at that time my angular velocity is there what? Minus Z axis, towards the minus Z axis, so that is minus omega K cap. So what you can say? When the body is moving in anti-clockwise direction, then angle will be positive. Whenever the body is moving in the clockwise direction, at that time the angle will be negative. We just write that. Write those 2 points. ಹಲೋ ಹಾಂ ಸರ್, ಗುಡ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಸರ್. ಹಾಂ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, ಇದು ಲಾಂಗ್ ಟರ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ ನಾನು. ಹಾಂ, ಹೌದಾ? ಅದು ಯಾರ್ಕನ್ನ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಾನು ತಗೊತೀನಿ. ಯಾರು ತಗೊತಾರಂತ? ಹೌದಾ? ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ ಅವರು? ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ನಾನು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ತಗೊತೀನಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಮೋಹನ್ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಸರಿ ಆಯಿತು. Like that, when the particle is moving in anti-clockwise direction, then angle is positive or negative? Positive. Anti-clockwise, just remember that. You don't remember that anti-clockwise or clockwise. You just remember your right hand thumb rule. So anti-clockwise nothing but the body is moving in anti-clockwise direction. So our omega direction is along the positive z-axis, so positive angle. Okay, then body is moving in clockwise direction, negative z-axis, so angle is negative. Okay, now I have written that points. When the particle is moving in anti-clockwise direction, then angular displacement is positive. When the particle is moving in clockwise direction, then angular displacement is negative. Write that right hand thumb rule. Right hand thumb rule. Now tell me, angle is positive or negative? Angular velocity is in there in which direction first of all? Angular velocity is there in which direction? Angular velocity direction I am asking. Angular velocity, omega direction. Direction of omega I am asking. In which direction it is there? How to do the omega direction? How you have to do? Right hand thumb rule, na? Apply that. Right hand thumb rule. The body is moving from here to here. Here to here nothing but in which direction it will come? Positive z-axis. Very good. See that? I have taken like this. Correct? So that what I am doing, I am just curling the fingers in this way. So that the omega direction is in this direction. That is nothing but in which direction? That is positive z-axis. Positive z-axis direction. Whenever you take the body is moving from here to here, that will be in which direction? In negative z-axis. So that here the particle is moving from here to here. At that time I can say that omega, angular velocity, omega is equals to what is the formula? d theta by dt. Is there in which direction? Whenever the body is moving from, let me take A to B. A to B means which direction? That is anti-clockwise direction. At that time what we can say? Theta is positive or negative? Anti-clockwise nothing but theta is positive. So that theta is positive. And then direction of omega is there in which direction? Omega will be there along the positive z-axis. Yes sir. So that clearly the angular velocity, what I can write? Angular velocity is equals to omega k cap. Direction of angular velocity is omega k cap. Now whenever the same body is moving from B to A, it is moving from B to A. At that time what happens? The body is moving in which direction? Which direction? Clockwise direction. Clockwise direction nothing but just keep your palm like this and then fold the fingers in this way. So that the angular velocity is there in which direction? Negative z axis. So only the theta is now, theta is positive or negative, anti-clockwise nothing but negative, theta is negative, and then angular velocity omega is there along the negative z axis. So that angular velocity is minus omega k cap. And also in the same way we will decide the angular acceleration direction also. If the velocity is decreasing, acceleration is positive or negative? General linear motion, I am talking about the linear motion. If the velocity of the body is decreasing, at that time acceleration is positive or negative? Velocity is decreasing. Do you know that retardation word? Retardation, we call it as retardation. Retardation nothing but what? Negative acceleration. Whenever the body velocity is decreasing. For example, you know already the v square minus u square is equals to 2as formula. General kinematical equation. Yes. Now, whenever the body was having initially some velocity, finally it is becoming as 0. Here v indicates what? Final velocity. U indicates what? Initial velocity. So, finally body is coming to the rest. Coming to the rest nothing but velocity is decreasing or increasing. How can you stop? By decreasing your velocity only you can stop. By applying the brakes nothing but you are decreasing your speed. So, at that time final velocity is becoming as how much? 0. And also initially some velocity is there. So, that what I can get here? Minus u square is equals to 2as. Now, acceleration is positive or negative? Negative acceleration. Whenever the velocity is decreasing, don't tell that minus u square becomes 0 here, minus u square becomes plus u square na. So, this is not belongs to this one, this is just formula 1, okay na. This is not minus u square here, you don't think that like this. If you think minus u whole square nothing but you can say that okay that is plus u square only, but this belongs to this minus belongs to formula only, that you cannot apply for the u. So, here if whenever you say this is minus u nothing but negative initial velocity nothing will be there. Initially negative velocity is possible, it cannot be possible, right. So, that here minus u square is equals to 2as means acceleration is what here? Minus. When it is happening? Whenever the velocity of the body is decreasing. When the velocity of the body is decreasing, at that time acceleration will be negative acceleration, that we call as retardation, right, deceleration, or we call it as deceleration or retardation. When it is possible? Whenever the velocity of the body is decreasing. Whenever the velocity of the body is increasing, at that time acceleration will be positive. Initially started from rest, from rest it is started, so that its velocity is increasing to 10 meter per second. So, that velocity is increasing nothing but from the same formula again, v square is not 0, u square is 0 here. Why? Because the body is starting from rest. So, that here what will get? 10 square minus 0 is equals to 2as. For example, it is making a displacement of 10 meters. At that time acceleration will be how much here? 100 is equals to 20 into a, then a will be how much? 5. Positive or negative? Positive. Why? Because the body is increasing its velocity. Whenever it is increasing its velocity, at that time acceleration is positive. Whenever the velocity is decreasing, at that time acceleration will be negative acceleration. In the same way, whenever the body is moving in this anti-clockwise direction only, let me take first of all, it is moving very fast, and also immediately what it is doing nothing but it is just slowing its motion. Velocity was there initially, now it is decreasing its velocity. At that time what happens? Nothing but before, whenever it was running fast, At that time, angular acceleration will be in the same direction of angular velocity. Before, whenever it is moving fast in this direction, angular velocity is there in which direction? Whenever the body is moving in this direction, angular velocity is there in which direction? Along the positive z axis, na? It is moving in this direction only. It is moving in this direction like this. Yes, positive z axis. It is moving very fast. So, acceleration also in the same direction, angular acceleration also. Now, it is decreasing its speed. At that time, immediately, velocity will be in the same direction only, but the acceleration will reverse. You understand? Here also, whenever the body is moving in this direction, velocity is there in this direction only. It is decreasing its speed. What I said, acceleration will be negative. Negative nothing but in this direction, opposite direction. Okay, that is changes by itself, that's it. Whenever the velocity decreases, angular acceleration, otherwise normal acceleration will get reversed. So, in this case also, whenever this marker only I will take, this is moving very fast like this, so that angular velocity is there in this direction, and also angular acceleration also in the same direction. Whenever it is moving very slowly, it is decreasing its angular speed. At that time what happens? Nothing but angular acceleration will be in the reverse direction. Why? Because it is becoming as retardation. Velocity decreasing means, velocity decreasing, what happens? Acceleration will be negative. So, only negative with respect to what? With respect to the velocity. Okay, velocity is there in one direction, nothing but acceleration is in opposite direction, that indicates negative here. So, here also whenever the angular motion speed is decreasing, at that time angular velocity will be there in this direction, but the angular acceleration will be in the opposite direction. Whenever speed is increasing, again same direction. Whenever speed is decreasing, again opposite direction. You understand? The direction of angular acceleration will changes according to what? According to the velocity. That might be linear acceleration or that might be angular acceleration. So, that angular acceleration will indicate with alpha. Okay, alpha is the angular acceleration, that we will discuss later. You just get idea about the directions, that's it. Next, we will see the trigonometric ratios. Trigonometric ratios. Already you know all the basic formulas, we will repeat it again. So, again we will take, we will relate with the physics only. Whenever the body is just making the circular motion, at that time we can take at any instant, we can say the arc length as this one as a triangle. I can indicate this as a triangle like this. Is it looking like a right angle triangle only, na? So, the same thing here also happening. Whenever the body is moving in this direction, I am just taking all the positions of the body at some instant of time. So, here you clearly know that sin theta is equals to, what I can write? Sin theta is equals to opposite by hypotenuse, cos theta is equals to adjacent by hypotenuse, and then tan theta is equals to opposite by adjacent. Whenever you come to the sin theta, reverse of sin theta is which one? Reciprocal of that? Cosec theta, na? So, that cosecant theta is equals to what I can write? Hypotenuse by opposite, and then for the cos theta, who is reciprocal? Secant theta. Secant theta is equals to hypotenuse by adjacent. Then for this tan, cot theta is reciprocal, so that cot theta is equals to what I can get? Adjacent by opposite. These are the basic trigonometric ratios, already you know that. And also in physics, most of the times we will use that when theta is very small, then what happens? Whenever theta is very small, you might be studied in SHM. Whenever the theta is very small, at that time what we will take? Simple pendulum derivation, you remember that? Whenever theta is very small, at that time what we will take? Sin theta or tan theta is approximately what? Theta only. Sin theta is approximately theta or tan theta is approximately theta, and also we will take sin theta is equals to tan theta. How it is possible? See that, for example, a body was there in horizontally, initially a rod was there in horizontal direction. Now what happening? I am just moving it, so that I said theta is very small. Theta is very small, nothing but just it is moved from here to here, just this much. Whenever you see here, you can say that this adjacent is equals to hypotenuse. Is that correct? This is what? Right angle triangle. Again I made the right angle triangle, but the theta is very small here. As compared to this adjacent, opposite is very small. Whenever opposite is very small, I can say that adjacent is equals to the hypotenuse. Both are same only. So whenever both are same, opposite is very small. At that time, tan theta is equals to theta. Why? Because tan theta is equals to what? Opposite by adjacent for us. Opposite by adjacent nothing but opposite and then adjacent is there. Here adjacent and then hypotenuse both are same only. So that what I can write, sin theta is approximately tan theta, that is approximately equals to theta. That you have to remember, we will get so many times in physics. So whenever theta is very small, sin theta is approximately theta. Otherwise wherever sin theta is there, there we will substitute what? Tan theta will substitute. Okay. Then after that we know already Pythagoras law. What is that Pythagoras law? Hypotenuse square is equals to opposite square plus adjacent square. Hypotenuse square is equals to opposite square plus adjacent square will get. So that here whenever I substitute here hypotenuse nothing but, can I take that as tan? Yes. Then here opposite nothing but what I can write? Opposite by hypotenuse is what? Sin. And then adjacent by hypotenuse is what? Cos. So that what is the main equation we got? Related equation. Sin square theta plus cos square theta is equals to 1. For example, we will make two more formulas, that is 1 plus tan square theta is equals to secant square theta, right? 1 plus cot square theta equals to cosecant square theta. How we get that? For example, let us take sin square theta common here. If I take sin square theta common here, then what is remaining here? 1 plus here what we will get? Cos square theta divided by sin square theta. Why? Because here sin is not there. That is equals to 1. So here 1 plus cos square by sin square. Cos by sin nothing but what? Cos by sin nothing but? Cos by sin nothing but what will get here? Cot will get. So that here cos by sin nothing but cot. So that 1 plus cot square theta is equals to what will get here? 1 by sin square theta. I am sending sin square theta here. So that 1 by sin square nothing but who is reciprocal for sin? Who is reciprocal for sin? Cosecant theta. Na? So that clearly what I can get here? Cosecant square theta. Understand? Then if I take from the same equation, if I take cos square theta as common. Cos square theta as common means at that time what is remaining here? Sin square theta divided by cos square theta. Here what is remaining? 1 plus 1 is equals to 1. Then sin by cos, tan square theta plus 1 is equals to 1 by cos square. 1 by cos square nothing but secant square theta. Okay, these are the important equations. You don't need to remember everything. You cannot remember this and then this. You will get confused. So just remember this one. Take sin square theta common and then get the another equation. Take cos square theta common, get another equation. Okay, now that's it. Just remember this one. Copy everything. Also here tan nothing but what I can write? Sin theta by cos theta. Cot nothing but what I can write? Cos theta by sin theta. Cosecant nothing but 1 by sin theta. Secant nothing but 1 by cos theta. We'll end the class here. Tomorrow we'll continue.